that you're going to add. Right? But upon that, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, He placed His foot on the hellfire, and that made it all the fold it, right, to the point that it is filled. Ala ayyin. What else we got from the Sifat al-Dhatiyya? Abu Sufyan. Huh? Yeah, you say the speech. Say the speech. Na'am, the speech of Allah. But one thing that is specific about the speech of Allah is that you find it is both Dhatiyya and it is Fi'liyya. Because Allah will never cease to speak. Allah will never cease to speak. Tayyib. And He speaks to whomsoever He wills from His creation. Right? Meaning from the prophets and the messengers and the angels. Tayyib. But when we talk about the sifatul fi'liyya, what are the sifatul fi'liyya? For those actions, descriptive actions. The ghadab of Allah, the anger of Allah. Right? The anger of Allah. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He get angry. Right? Does He get angry all the time? La. Does He get angry for no reason? No. Does He get angry for the wrong reason? No. Us, we get angry sometimes for the wrong reason. Right? We get angry for no reason sometimes. For a good reason or for a bad reason, we're going to get angry. But I mean, we're human beings though. That's normal. Sometimes that's normal. That you know that certain things, it is how Allah created a human being. Don't expect your brother to be every day have a happy face in front of you. Some days give him a break. He having it, alhamdulillah, let him have it. You know he's not like this. But let him have it, alhamdulillah. Some days you'll be on the same way too. Right? But there is a limit that, mashallah, a boundary that nobody should be, barakallah, going over. What else from the sifatul fi'liyya? Naam, the hub, the love. Omar? Ahsanta, the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descending. The descending of Allah, it is, barakallah fikum, what? It is fi'li. But at the same time, huh? No, at the same time though, the ulu is what? Is dhati. Because Allah will never cease to be above the creation. Even when He's descending. Even when He's descending. Tayyib, He will never cease to be above the creation. Now this is where the aqidah comes handy to believe in the unseen. Because this is not technically something that a person can just comprehend like that. If someone, we're not talking about Allah. If someone, barakallah fikum, is, let's say you got a building, right? The building is, let's say, how many floors? 100. Like you got 100. How much you benching, man?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah. Let's say you got a building that is 100 stories, for instance. The person that is at the last story, right? The last story, right? If he comes to, let's say, the 25th story, he is no longer the one on the top. Somebody is now on the top of him. But this is not applicable to Allah Ta'ala. Allah is above the 7 heavens, above His throne, in a manner that is befitting His might and majesty. Even though He descends every night at the last third of the night, La yazalu, He will not cease to be Al-Ali, the Most High. He will not cease to be the Most High. Tayyib, He will not cease to be the Most High.
Also with the aqidah and handy, as far as the unseen, some people say, well, it's the last third portion here in this part.
Ahsanta, very good. That's very good. Who created the night? Who has control over the night? Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. He is the one that controls the night. He is the one that commands the night. So if he is the one controlling the night, is that difficult at all?
Is it explain how he descend and stay above the throne? Is not no explanation.
No, these are the matters, Barakallahu Feek. That, alhamdulillah, that the correct belief is to believe and not why and how. You remember in Sharh Sunnah and also in Usul Sunnah, وَلَيْسَ فِي السُّنَّةِ قِيَاسٌ لَا يُقَالْ لِمَ وَلَا كَيْفَ. He said there is no analogy with the Sunnah. Here the Sunnah mean what? The Aqidah. There is no analogy. Analogy means there is no comparison. There is no comparative issues in here, in the Aqidah. And it is not to be said why and how. Right? It is not to be said why and how. Because you cannot compare Allah to His creation. You cannot compare Allah to His creation. You cannot compare the Creator and the creation. This is shay'ayni mukhtalifayni. It is two different things. What be applicable to one man will be applicable to the other one. What define this man that define the other one. They can even have the same name that sometimes they share. But the understanding with this one will be different from the understanding from the other one. And we mentioned it, Al-Jabbar, Wal-Mutakabbir. We mentioned this. When you say, Anta Jabbarun, Aturidu an takuna Jabbarun fil ard, do you want to be from the, those who have, tyrant on the earth? Right? And this is what Al-Jabbar is in regard to the individual. But do we say the Jabbar to be someone, in regard to Allah's right? Do we say the same thing? La. But rather we say what is befitting for Allah Ta'ala. Naam, so he mentioned, وَهَذَا هُوَ التَّوْحِيدُ الْأَسْمَاءِ وَالصِّفَاتِ, and this is the Tawheed of Al-Asma' wa-Sifat, الَّذِي أَنْكَرَهُ الْمُبْتَدِعَةِ. Those from the people of the innovators they had, unfortunately they had deviated from. They had deviated from the Tawheed al-Asma' wa-Sifat. And we mentioned, Barakallahu Feekum, as the Shaykh Rahimahullah mentioned, Shaykh Ibn Baz Rahimahullah mentioned here, he say from the Jahmiyyah. We mentioned last class, how did the Jahmiyyah, they denied the names and attributes, right? And I'm assuming that everybody have that. And the Mu'tazila, how did they deny the names and attributes of Allah? And likewise, another one we added, I remember we added another one, which was the Asha'ira. The Asha'ira, how did they deny the names and attributes of Allah? And those who are making similitude with Allah to His creation. Al-Mushabbiha, right? Those who have that aqidah of tashbih, and making resembling Allah to His creation. As, inshallah, we revise it real quick, the Jahmiyyah. The Jahmiyyah, they deny all the names and all the attributes of Allah. The Jahmiyyah, they deny all the names and all the attributes of Allah. This is why what do the Salaf say about the Jahmi? Adaman. Right. That the Jahmi, they worship what? They don't worship nothing. They don't worship nothing. They don't worship nothing. Because if something doesn't have no name, it doesn't have no attributes, can you believe in something that doesn't have no name and you can't define it? I mean, it doesn't exist. Whatever exists, either it has a name or you don't know the name, you can describe it if you know it. The second one was the Mu'tazila. We mentioned how the Mu'tazila, they ankaru Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat. How did the Mu'tazila, Omar? Very good. They affirm all the names, but they deny all the names. They attributes. They affirm all the names. طيب. and they deny all the attributes. So what did Ahlul Sunnah say about them? يَعْبُدُونَ Sanaman. Right? The Mu'tazila, they worship idols. Because the idols, they do have names, but they don't have no attributes. Do the idol talk? Do the idol love? Do the idol hear? Do the idol hate? The idol is a piece of thing that you place there. Right? Can't do if he was to fall down, he can't just even detach his hand off the thing and, kind of lean on it not to fall down. He can't do that, barakallahu feekum. So the Mu'tazila, barakallahu feekum, they affirm all the names of Allah, but they deny the attributes of Allah. That's why you will find them say that Allah is alimun bila ilm. He is the most knowledgeable without knowledge. He is basirun. He is all-seer without eyesight, without a sight. He is all-able without ability. Doesn't make sense. And you have the other one that we mentioned was the Asha'ira. The Asha'ira. The Asha'ira. And Al-Asha'ira, barakallahu fikum, they have the belief that they affirm all the names, but only 7 attributes. They affirm all the names, but they only affirm 7 attributes of Allah. They only affirm 7 attributes of Allah. The Mushabbiha are those who they resemble Allah to His creation. They are those who resemble Allah to His creation. And you got also the Mujassima. Mujassima. You got also those who have the Aqeedah of Mujassima. And as a matter of fact, the Ahlul Bid'ah, this is they accuse Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah of Mujassima. From the word Mujassima, you have what? Al-Jism. Very good. You have Al-Jism. Al-Jism. Al-Jism is what? What is Al-Jism? A body. Right? They say you all Mujassima. Meaning you are giving Allah a body. Because when you say the feet, when you say the hand, when you say the face, okay, you giving Allah a body. Saying that Allah has a face does not necessarily say that He look like this. Saying that Allah has hands doesn't necessarily mean that His hands is like this or that. Saying that Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala hears or sees doesn't necessarily mean that He do it the same way that perhaps you and I are doing it. And even among us, people have differences in regard to the hearing. Even in regard to the creation, you have the animals. Some of them, their feet is like this, if we can even call it that. Right? Some people have their legs bent. Some people, they have their legs crooked. Some animals don't have but 3 fingers. Right? Like the birds, the chicken have how many fingers? 4 or 3? 4. 4. You're right. Because I got them chickens. Yeah, 4. Because you got like this, they have this one, and the third, on the back one, they got a 4th one. Just double check. At night, subhanallah, the chicken, akhi. Maghrib. If you get chicken, you will know what time is Maghrib. Believe me. Maghrib, they are done. It's a wrap for them. No, they are done. So if you got chicken in your house, believe me, you want to know for Maghrib, observe them. Whenever they go into their coop, just know it's time for Maghrib. Right away. Alhamdulillah, it's good to have chickens. You get free eggs, organics too.